Good evening, guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to the recovery room. And listen, I'm so excited to let you guys know that Al saw it fit to come back and join us again for this recovery room. Al, say hi to our guests.
Hello, everybody. This is Al again. Hope everybody's doing well.
And we're hoping that one day Al becomes a permanent member of the recovery room. We'd love to have a male perspective on every recovery room. So, Al, think about it and get back with us. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. And then, of course, everybody knows Monique. Not everybody knows Monique, but everybody loves Monique as well. Monique.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
So tonight's recovery room is when can I meet your kids? We've been dating for 2 whole days. When can I meet your kids? And so we just saw it fit. Last week we talked about life after lockup, and it was a topic that came up that I had to expound on this week. And one of the things that Deontay said was he would meet women while he was incarcerated who invited him to move in right after he got out of prison, and he felt like, man, what would she be thinking? She doesn't know me. Not that he's a bad guy, but he was
Right.
just saying that a responsible woman would not allow somebody who she does not know, who she met while he was incarcerated, be around her children after he got out without knowing who he was fully. And so I that made me think about all of the people that are dating now and who seem to think that it is okay for the person that they haven't known long. They probably just know him from a couple text messages, or they know him from social media, that it's okay for them to meet their children. So I want to ask the panel today, guys, when is it okay for someone to meet a person that they're dating their children?
Oh, I say at least, at least 6 months to a year, if not
Six
longer.
months to a year.
Mm-hmm. Can't take no chances with your babies now.
I say wait. Wait until till you know this person's not crazy. You
Right.
Right.
got people that'll date you that's trying to molest your kid or want to be around kids or something. This world is crazy. You don't know, this person might beat you. This person might, and I'm only talking from a man's perspective, right? Some people want to jump into a relationship. They just know that clock is ticking and they want to make sure, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that before it's too late. But sometimes, though, when you turn around and rush into something, and I'm saying this because I've been married before, and you wind up doing the wrong thing.
Mhm.
Meeting people's kids, yeah, that may tell you a lot about that person, but do you really want to, are you willing to take that obligation on? Because now they meeting you, now you got to build a relationship with this person, this kid. And
Right.
sometimes kids might not be worth a dang. Or, they'd be like, oh, that's my baby. And, my baby comes first, it'd be like, why would I get in a relationship knowing that you're going to be second to a child?
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
So, which leads me to this question. So, I had a couple of friends long time ago where they felt that, hey, I need to introduce my children to men early on in the relationship, because if they don't like them, I need to know ahead of time so I don't get so close to the man and then my children meet him and wow, he doesn't like them. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that that's okay for women to be like, you know what, we've been dating for a couple months and it seems as if he's going to be a permanent fixture for a while. Should I start having date night with him and the kids?
That's why I said 6 months to a year. You know what I mean? I feel like in 6 months to a year, you should know a lot about the person. You know what I mean? You should know a lot about the person by then to make that decision whether you want to take them out on a date. Now, come on, let's go to the movies or something, not, too serious at first. Take them to church, take them to
No.
church.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
If
no,
they
Al, what
gonna
are you
meet,
thinking?
if they gonna meet your kids, if a woman is rushing for me to meet her kids or something, that's telling me that she in a hurry. What you in a hurry for? Let's take our time. I want to know her first before I know her kids. If she's even worth meeting her kids, because there's people out there, that be like, oh, I want you to meet my kids. I want you to meet my kids. Then I want you to take care of my bills. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. But in the meantime, what is he getting out of it? Now he didn't got a pre-made family from somebody else that's not taking care of their responsibilities. And what did he got? He got a woman that's demanding, very demanding, have kids, and they ain't his.
Hmm.
Now I understand there's some men out there that's okay with that and want to take care of other people's kids. My wife have kids too, but they're grown.
Right.
And it was a long time before I met them. And that's not because we set a date or anything. It was because we were getting to know each other. Is this person worth me bringing around my kids? Is this
Right.
person worth, you know, building that relationship with them? Because all things aside, a man's a man. A man is he's not the king of the household. He runs the household with his wife.
Right. Right.
And and if he says something, same way his wife says something, it should be respected. You
That's
can't
true.
say something and the kids be like, "Well, my mama didn't tell me that."
Right.
Well, I'm
Right.
telling you now,
Right. And
and it
another
don't
thing
matter.
too. Another thing, just to add on to what you're saying, Al, when you first meet people, you're meeting their representative. You're not meeting who they are. And I noticed that a lot of men, when they want to get close to a woman, the first thing they do is they start taking the kids out. Oh, yeah, I want to take you and the kids out. I want to do stuff with you and the children because they know that that's the way to a woman's heart. If you embrace her children, then of course, then she's gonna love you because most women are looking for a family unit. They're looking for
Hmm.
a family unit. They don't want to be that woman that's running around with a bunch of kids and they're not married or they're not attached to anybody. So when a man comes in and introduces them to that type of lifestyle or the prospect of that type of lifestyle, a lot of times women will not be able to think carefully and cautiously before they get deeper and deeper and deeper involved with this man.
Fell for the okey
And
doke.
right, and it goes both ways because men,
Mhm.
oh men, it is some crazy women out there too. And one thing that I have noticed about single men who have children and they are the sole caretaker of their children, they will meet a woman and they think that, oh, she's just a nice and kind woman and she's helping them take care of these kids. And behind the scenes, she is really abusive to these children.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. And that
Yep.
happens so much. Yes, it does.
And
That's
I've
why I
heard
say at least 6 months to a year, at least. And if he's pushing the issue to meet your kids right when y'all start dating, that's a red flag.
right.
Exactly. Yeah. What you in
A
a
red
hurry
flag.
for?
Exactly.
Right. And I'm gonna be
Hmm.
honest with you, and this is to my men. I have met a lot of women who say they don't love their stepchildren or their boyfriend's children like they love their own children. I met a lot
Oh,
of
that's a
women
fact.
who've said that. And
That's true.
so for me, that bothers me, because if you truly love a man, then you love his children like you love him. It's kind of different for a man. Check this out, Al. It's different for a man because even with your own children, you don't start bonding until you actually see a physical child. Most men.
Yeah.
True.
Most men, they don't start bonding until they see an actual child. But there's a motherly instinct that's supposed to be in most women, that they'll care for a child that's not even theirs.
Yes, definitely.
Like if they see a child in distress in the street, they will stop what they're doing and try to take care of them. Because as a mother, something pulls on you that says, oh my gosh, if this were my child,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yep.
But it's a
Life
lot
like
of
that.
mean women out there who don't want to be involved with the man's children. They don't want nothing to do with them. And God forbid if the child has to come stay with them because, oh, it's going to be on in that house.
Because it's always that man's child. If it's a man and a woman, she gonna say you take care of your child. But when their kid needs something, how are we gonna handle this?
Right. What
I
say
didn't
it
I didn't
again?
been in relationships like that. You know, my son needed something. Well, you need to help him out. And when their child needs something, oh, we need to help so and so.
Right.
And I
What?
don't think that's right. I don't think that that's
Hell
right at all. If
no.
you're in a relationship with a person, that's not right at all.
No. But
Yeah.
they
But
out
Jack is
there.
the deal.
What you say,
If you,
Al? And
They
Monique?
out there. They out there in
Mhm.
droves. They just like, well, you with me because I'm with you and you lucky to be with me. That's the way some women think. You lucky to be with me. You have to take care of what I need you to take care of. And then when you have time, you take care of your responsibilities.
Mm,
Right. So before we
mm.
move forward, let me stop and talk to the YouTube community and the Facebook community, guys. Even if you are watching this after we've already released it, what are your thoughts on that? When or should a woman expect a man to take care of her children, even if she feels like she doesn't have to take care of his? Drop a yes, no, maybe so in the chat. Let us know what you think so we can expound on this discussion at a later date. But okay, guys, go ahead and finish up.
Well, I just
So,
think it's just crazy. You can't just turn around and if a man has his responsibility, if a man steps up and takes care of his kid, that's a good thing in the first place because a lot
Right,
of men don't do that.
right.
And then he meets somebody, this person telling him he got to put his child on the back burner because her kids, because the one that she slept with ain't doing what he's supposed to do. So now they're going to be your priority. That's a headache. That's a
Mm.
headache that somebody don't need.
And
You
you know
don't
what?
need that.
That's ugly.
That's reality.
That's
That's
ugly.
reality. These women, you want to be with me? You better do this for me. You better do that for me. You better do this for me. That's why it took me so long to find my wife. My wife was always independent. She always did everything she needed to do, and she kept her kids in check. And
um,
when it, I loved it. I loved it. I was like, "Dad, gonna marry this woman one day," and I did.
so Al, you bring up a good point. You said your wife makes sure that her children understand that even in a relationship with you, like if you're coming in, that there is going to be some discipline. Do you guys think that a lot of single women raise children to respect a male presence?
No,
No,
I'm
they
sorry. I
don't.
shouldn't have jumped out like that.
But
No,
you
go
telling
No.
the
ahead.
truth. You telling the truth. You are. You telling
So
the truth.
Yep.
A
So
lot
why
of
do you
women be like, "Don't touch my child. That's my child. You don't put your hands on my child."
Exactly. Don't put your hands on my baby. Don't do this. Don't do that. Even if you correcting them. I'm not into beating other people's child. I'm not all that and everything. But there's a child's place. A child should stay in a child's place. If me and his mother talking, he don't need to be in it.
right?
That that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
Because if he going don't you talk to my mama like that, you can keep this nonsense. I'm out. Deuces. I'm gone. You can keep it. I don't need it.
Alfred, Al, so you saying it don't take that much, huh? You like,
Yeah,
foolishness is not on my list of things to do.
Well, why deal with it? Why deal with it? You gonna deal with this? This woman has children. This woman has bills. This woman had problems that she's not willing to accept, and she just want to dump it all on you. And you have your own problems too. Why would you do that? And that goes for men too. Men sit there, men that have children, drop it off with their girlfriend or whatever. The next thing you know, he'll come back a few days or a few hours later talking about he had a flat tire. Oh, he was hanging with the boys or something. Got glitter on him, acting like he didn't ain't nothing wrong. These people dirty. People dirty. They gotta understand. You gotta respect people.
You
yeah.
know what's crazy, right? Is I met this, I didn't meet this one, but one of my girlfriends said that she used to date this guy, and she said that they had a long distance relationship, but he had kids, he was a single parent, but on the weekends she would drive to see him. But she said she noticed that as soon as she got there every single weekend, he'd be getting dressed to go hang out at the club or wherever, and he'd be
There you
gone all
go.
night till 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then he'll come back. So she felt like she was an in-house babysitter. Do you think that that's okay for men to do that? Like if they're dating a woman, do you think it's okay for them to kind of use her if they have to run an errand or they want to go hang out with their friends or
Absolutely
hang
not.
with
Hell
Because
other
in this
no.
men?
society, you have to be careful about what woman you have around your kids too. You
Right.
understand what I mean? You
No,
just if
that's
you got this
his
woman babysitting your
responsibility.
kids all night while you gone, mm-mm,
Yeah,
no.
that's that man's responsibility. You gonna turn around and drop. So you mean to tell me you're gonna let this woman drive all the way there to watch your kids, and you're gonna go out to the club and you're gonna trust her to make sure your kids are okay? She might beat the hell out of that daggone child. And next thing you know, you wonder she coming back home and wondering why little Nene got bruises on him, and then well, I don't know, he fell down the stairs. You know, what can you do?
Mhm.
What can you do? You too busy going to the club. So
Right.
I hear cases of
Right.
like that all the time. The women are not they're feeding their children and not feeding their boyfriend or husband's kids and abusing the kids and then the child end up dead because women do that too, not just men.
They do.
yeah,
It, check
Mhm.
this out. And this is for my men, guys. I want you to be aware that women will do just what Monique said. They'll feed their children and not feed yours and think that it is okay because you left and went to the club and left your kids. They don't look at some. I'm not saying all women do this, but there is a lot of women, more than you think, more than you would think, that really believe that they don't have to feed your children if you're not there.
I
And that's
think they stupid for
crazy.
leaving them with them anyway.
Hmm.
You leave your child with somebody and you don't know how they're gonna take care of your child, and something happened with your child. Don't be mad at them because you're the fool that left them. You the fool that left your baby, your child, somebody you say you love, with somebody that's violating them. Even if you
Exactly.
don't know it, you still wrong because you should have took the time to find out who this person is.
I feel like if the child has a mother and that you live with the mother coming over my me and my husband's house for the weekend, and whatever like that, you need to be there with them. The father needs to
That's
be there
it.
with them. Period.
That's it.
Yeah, if we're
They
dating,
coming to visit him.
if we're dated, and if we're married, you know, it's different when your child comes over. And I mean, if you go out or whatever, when your child come over, we're married. I accept your kids like they my babies, and if I feed my babies, I'm gonna feed your babies. I don't play them games.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't play
but
them games.
that's what people don't do that nowadays.
I don't play
They
that. I
don't
think
do
that's a
it.
mean, nasty person.
Right. But it happens, and it happens
Mhm.
on a frequent basis where women do not accept their children, their husbands, or significant other without being married, where they don't accept those children. And I'm gonna tell you, you know, a clear indication of that is when you see a man that. So for me, if I have 3 kids and my husband has 2 kids, we have 5 kids. There's no
Right.
need for me
Absolutely.
to go have no baby from my
Right.
husband because we got kids.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
enough kids.
That's right. We got 5 kids, and I'm gonna love them
Yeah.
and take care of them just like my own.
That's
Exactly.
Don't
it.
play
That's
them
how I
games.
always thought. Like, if he has 2, I got 3, we got 5, right?
Right.
That's
Yep.
it.
It ain't no need for me to say, well, I want to have one more by my husband. I got 2 by my husband. So that's how I look at it. Like, if we're blending a family, then we are a family. It does not matter who that, you know, they're not, I didn't biologically have them.
Hmm.
This is my personal take on it.
Right.
That as a mother, there should be a maternal instinct in me to want to care for those children,
Right.
regardless if they came from out of me or not. One, because as a mother, I would hope that somebody is treating my children well when they are in their presence. That's
You
number
Exactly.
would hope.
two. And I
They
and
better be.
the Bible says you reap what you sow. You reap what
Mm.
you
Yep.
sow. So what
Yep.
you put out there is what he's gonna make sure you get back.
That's
Yep.
right.
What you put out there is he gonna make sure you get that back, right? Good,
Yep.
bad, or indifferent. People run around here talking about karma. No, that's God saying, okay, this is what you do to other people's children, then I'm gonna make sure your children are treated the same way,
And
Yep.
right?
I had 2 kids when I met my husband, and I have grandchildren now. My 2 children with him are too young to have children, but my 2 older ones, and they call him Pop Pop. He kiss on them and love on them, just like they his. He accept them
Right,
100%.
right.
Yep.
And if he
That's
didn't have
the
any
way it's
kids when I
supposed
met
to
him.
be.
Hmm.
And
So, but
that
if he
That's the
had
way.
is
kids, I would do the exact same thing.
especially when you have these kids, like they've been knowing you forever. Like to them, you're like a second mother. You know, if you and their father started dating when they were what 3, and
That's
now
all
you
they knew.
23, they've known
Right.
you most of
Yep.
their life.
Right.
You see what I'm
So
Yeah.
how
saying?
when they break up with you, they break up with the kids too.
That's
Right.
true.
That's
Hmm.
true.
That's
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 tremendous.
true.
true.
Hmm.
Which takes us back to the discussion. So when is a good time? Like I know Monique, you said no less than 6 months to a year.
Right.
Al, you said, hey, I don't even know if I like you yet.
Right.
That's what Al
Right.
said.
In
And
six
and
months
Yeah.
to a year, Al, you won't know.
6 months to a year, people have had extra lives, have lived different lives. You have one family across town that think you a businessman working as a salesperson. The other person cross town, you a construction worker. There've been men that had basic lives that just been lying all their life. So
oh
six
wow.
months to a year, yeah, and people can put a face on for 6 months to a year. You
Oh,
want
okay.
you want to see how bad you want to see how somebody really react? Let them lose their job. let them let something happen to them that's drastic, and then you let that real person come out. So
Yeah,
when
you're
that
right.
real person come out, that's when you start thinking maybe I shouldn't be around this person that much.
All right. Hey, YouTube
Mm.
and Facebook, this is your time to respond. It's 6 months to a year, long enough to wait to introduce your significant other to your children. It's 6 months to a year, long enough to wait. Me personally, this is for my uh sisters from another mister, my brothers from another mother. Listen, me personally, I think that you should not introduce someone to your children until there has been an official commitment made. Until there is an
You're
official
right.
commitment made. And I think that before you even get to the children, introducing them to the children, you should start with your family member, your father, your brother, your grandmother, your mother, all of them first, so they can vet them, and then work your way down to the kids.
Okay. Okay.
That's my opinion.
Hmm.
And another thing, ladies and gentlemen, I think that keep your legs closed.
Oh yeah.
Don't introduce sex into the relationship until there is a commitment. I say marriage. You call commitment the way you want to. The Bible says, "He who finds," we talked about that. "He who finds a wife finds a good thing, and receives favor from the Lord." So I say, until there's a marriage a proposal on the table, it should be nobody meeting anybody. There should be people you going on dates, collecting data, maybe some background checks. You know, one thing that burns me up, is that people will talk about, yeah, girl, I checked his credit report because I need to know if he got good credit. Well, did you check his criminal record?
Okay. That's the way it
Hey,
should be
credit
done.
report, yeah,
There's plenty of
credit report
platforms
ain't
for you
gonna
to check
save you
it.
from somebody beating your tail.
There you
Mm.
go. How many of them actually do? Check it out now. Think about your friends and family members that are out there dating, or even who dated in the past. Now they have somebody or whatever. How many of them said they checked the person's criminal background?
My best friend is like that.
Exactly.
She'll check your criminal background in a heartbeat. She don't play them games. She will
Right.
check it.
But how many people do though? The only thing we
I
hear
don't know
about
a
is
lot.
financial status of somebody. Oh, girl, I made sure he got this good job. He got, all this money in the bank. Girl, yeah, I saw his bank receipt, girl. Oh, girl, he got plenty of money. Oh, I saw this, I saw that. Yeah, he got good credit, girl, because I told him
That
I cannot. We don't
that only means two things. He cheat, he don't spend money, and two, he a workaholic.
Mm.
So that do not include no woman.
No, it don't.
He may say, "Yeah, I could take her out for dinner and all of other stuff," and then after they get what they get, they gone.
There you
Hmm.
go. There you go. I don't even hear. So, Oprah
Look,
Winfrey did a story on this lady years and years ago, and this is kind of like a little off topic, but I'm gonna put it out there because I just want to emphasize how we don't do our due diligence when we're meeting new people. So this young lady, she actually had met a guy. He was older than her. She was probably about 22. He was about 32, and she met him. They started dating, and all of a sudden he got sick. So he told her that he had cancer. And so she stuck with him, stuck with him, stuck with him. And eventually he passed away. So fast forward to time to go to the funeral, and she goes to the funeral and she's looking, and she said the family is kind of treating her kind of strange. And so she said, she was grief stricken. And so she just felt like, well, I'm not going to address it right now. But, extended family members that she hadn't met yet.
mm-hmm.
So she said they get to the repast, and of course, everybody's talking, everybody's coming up to her and telling her how sorry they are. And one family member said, "Well, are you sick?" And she said, "Excuse me?" And she said, "Yeah, do you have it?" And she said, "Do I have what?" And she said, "Well, do you have HIV?"
Oh. Mm, mm-mm. Dang.
How did she not know he had HIV and you were taking care of him?
Because you know that they don't have to tell you that this person had HIV. So the whole time he had HIV, and his family knew it. His family knew it, but because he only had her around his, close family members, she never met any extended family, never went to any parties, never. She didn't know that he had HIV. And yes, she was HIV positive. And I think she ended up catching full-blown AIDS. She ended up getting full-blown AIDS. Yeah. When by the time she made it to Oprah, she was very, very thin.
See, that's what I'm talking about. When you know somebody, when you get your time to know somebody, you that's something an investment. Both of y'all lives are intertwined. You know, my wife know all my health stuff. I know all hers. So if something would happen, I'd be like, oh, well, she allergic to A, B, C, and D. Well, she ate this and she allergic to that. It's just stuff like that that a person would have to know. And he hiding it from that woman wasn't right. And then probably giving the stuff to her wasn't right neither.
Right. And then
That goes back to what I'm saying. See, and this was longer than, mind you, longer than 6 months in a year.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Longer than 6 months in a year.
Oh, I changed my mind on that now.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, dating, I think this is where we have made our misconception when we talk about dating. Dating is for information gathering. Data is for dating. Dating is for information gathering. That means you are going out to gather information to see if this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Dating is not for you to have somebody that you can sleep with every night without feeling like you out in them streets. Okay.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dating is not for you to just, hey, I need to take the edge off. Okay. I need to take so I'm gonna date this person so we can have sex so I can take the edge off. Right?
Right.
That is not the purpose of dating. And I think that is where we are falling short as a society. We're using dating as a stress reliever.
I don't think people date no more.
Really?
I think he does. I think he does hook up.
Are you serious?
I think he does hook up. I mean, when the last time that you heard somebody said, "Oh, we're gonna go to a movie so we can get to know each other." They don't say nothing about it, but they just turn around and, oh, they cute. Oh, she cute. Oh, he's cute. And let's be honest about it. Women know whether they're gonna sleep with a man or not. The man is always trying to sleep with him. She just pick who she want to sleep with. If she want to go out, and I mean, a woman could go out in the middle of the street. Some fool will turn around and be like, "Yeah, I'll sleep with her," because some men, unfortunately, think with the wrong head.
Monique, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think he's absolutely right about that. I think that it's wild out here in these streets. They're doing too much.
It is.
And the women that you ain't getting no surprise no more anyway, because most of the girls they meet, if they meet on a platform on Facebook or something like that, the girls is half naked on there. It's just
Yeah.
nothing even up to the imagination. Of course they're gonna want to have sex with you. They done seen you half naked already.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so in that, and it's amazing to me that people are seeing, and I'm not just going now, that is true. We do have a lot of our women that are, being very salacious
Mm.
on Facebook, and our young girls as well. But let's
Mhm.
talk about ladies. You watching these men get high on Facebook.
Right.
They smoking blunts. They
They got
doing,
that,
at the
all
strip
this
club
money.
every
Where they get that
weekend,
from?
popping bottles. I mean, you're seeing that these men are not really, ready to settle down, but
Right.
you would pursue that, and vice versa. Men, you see, because you got to remember what you see is what your kids see.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
If you don't see more of it.
Yeah.
Right? And if they see you not operating in wisdom, then they're gonna not operate in wisdom as well. Your children are gonna be the reflection of the mate that you bring in your house.
Yeah. If you got a worthless, no good, smoking weed, fresh out of nowhere, laying up in your house with your kids, they're gonna turn around and look and say, "What's wrong with my mom?"
Mm,
And it's bad
Absolutely.
when the kids do that.
mm,
Yep. Absolutely.
He ain't
mm.
got no car. He gonna take her car. I'll be back in a minute.
Mm.
Don't come back for a few hours. She mad, calling everybody,
Oh,
answering
sometimes
the
they
phone.
don't come back for days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
calling, answer, won't answer the phone that she bought him because he
Mm.
ain't got a job.
Mm, mm, mm.
Absolutely not.
And come
Mm.
back and
Very
forgive him and
bad.
like everything was okay.
Mm.
I'm glad you
Mm.
made it home safe. Glad you made it home safe. Nigga, get in my car and get out of here.
Mm.
Yeah, right. But they
That's what they
do.
should be saying.
So here's my question, because we need for the YouTube and Facebook community to know that you do have an obligation, not to yourself but to your children, right?
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
think when we are dating, our happiness should be the primary happiness that we search for?
Yes.
Expound on that, Al.
Well, I think it's one time that a person should be selfish because this is what I need. This is if you're willing to offer it, I'm willing to be around you. Now, that other person has demands too. That is, they're like, well, this is what I need, and if you're willing to do it, I'm with you.
Right.
It has to be a meeting of the minds. It's just that you just can't settle for anything and everything. You ain't gonna go
Yeah.
out there with people walking around with half the tail out and everything else. Their mama 52 dressing like their daughter that's 22 and thinking that it's okay, you know, ain't nothing now. Well, I'm not even gonna say it, but it's just some bad people out there that look like that think they're young. No, they're not young and shouldn't be acting like they're young. I
Right.
just put it like that. That goes for men and women.
You're right. You're right. You're right,
Hmm.
ladies. Listen, it's one thing to dress fashion forward, but it's another thing when you're dressing like you 20, right?
Right.
What you did in your 20s, you should have left there.
Yep. You should have left it right there.
You should have let, if you're still
Right
doing the
there.
same thing in your 20s as you're doing in your 40s, that's the problem.
Yeah. It
Big
is.
problem.
Yes.
One of the
There should
things
be some growth.
I prayed about when I was single. I said, Lord, I do not want to be that old woman in the club.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. Or that old man in the club with the old silk Raytheon
Right.
shirt
The
talking about
creepy
come here,
guy.
gonna buy you some Reeboks or something like that, saying
The
something
creepy guy.
stupid.
With the
Yeah.
stanky breath. With the stanky
Mm.
breath. You know what I'm saying?
Drinking some old drink like Red Fox, that Champ Pipple,
Right.
Ripple or whatever. Drinking all that nonsense.
Yes.
Right.
So in that, the Bible says above all else, ask for wisdom. Ask for wisdom. And that's what I want to kind of move into tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be praying when you meet any man. Any man, any woman, you should be on your face seeking the face of God, because he's going to let you know if that is the right person for you, not just now, but down the line as well. And you know what? Here's the thing, because women hate when we go back to Bible when we talk about, the man being the head, and up under the man is the woman, and up under the woman is the kids, and that a woman is supposed to put her husband first. People hate to hear that, because they like, oh, my kids come first. My kids come before anybody.
Yeah.
But check this out. This is the way that God operates. When it is a man after God's own heart, like David, then that man is not even going to make you choose between him and your children.
No.
That's right.
He gonna say deuces.
There you go. That woman is not going to make you choose between you and your children, right? If it's a God-sent woman or a God-sent man, they're going to be after God's own heart. And so they know that the Bible talks about compassion, right? And the Bible also says a man who does not take care of his family is worse than an infidel, worse than a traitor. So in that, that's why you have to be very cognizant of the person that you choose. You got to make sure that they came from God, because if they came from God, guess what? They're going to come in, they're going to take care of you and your kids. Vice versa, men, they're going to take care of you and your kids. And I'm not talking about financially, but if you got to go out here and work and you need somebody to babysit your children and she's in the house, it shouldn't be a question whether she's going to keep them or not.
Exactly.
Right.
That's an automatic, baby. You here in this house and your husband has to go to work. Yes, you are responsible for taking care of these children, making sure they get their homework done, making sure that they got something to eat, making sure that you talk to them like they are a human being, making sure that you make sure that they're okay emotionally as well as physically.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Because any man I went, let me tell you, let their kids call me and tell me somebody said something to them or did something to them. It's on like popcorn. I'm coming, me and their mama gonna meet at the school and double team you.
Okay. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just joking,
Yeah.
y'all. I'm not gonna go in the street and fight. But bottom line up front is, if they're his kids, they're my children as well.
Yeah, that's how
right.
it should be.
But before
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. And guess what? It takes a minute for men to get to this point. Why? It takes a minute for men to bond with their own kids, because it's their children are not in their womb.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, it takes a minute because some men their children get poisoned by their mom. And it's not, when my son comes visit me from Texas, I don't say nothing disrespectful about his mom. Now, she's not on my favorites list, nowhere close to it. But I wouldn't disrespect my son's mother, because I know how much he loves his mother.
Right.
Right.
That's it. Now, but if it comes to me, oh, he need to do this, oh, he need to do that, oh, I did, what's that? And then sometimes he call and tell me. I says, okay. There's nothing that there's nothing I'm gonna. because I'm not going to tarnish what his mother looked like to him.
Right.
Now, she can say whatever she can about me, but the facts prove who I am to my child. I don't have to defend myself to my child because he has a roof over his head. He got food in his belly. He got clothes on his back. And I'm providing that stuff, even though I'm not with his mother.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, son, sometimes, the best thing you can say is nothing at all. Just watch me work. That's
Okay.
it. Just watch
Because when the
me work.
children
Right.
grow up, they will find out.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, they'd be like, Mom always talked something bad about Dad. Dad ain't never say nothing about him. And, that's it.
That's a good
That's
point
it.
you bring up, Al, because what is amazing to me is that we will meet a man who has 7 kids by 7 different women and don't take care of none of the kids.
None
None
of
of
them.
it. And we will go out here and have a baby bomb.
Oh,
Yep.
Thinking that he's going to treat us differently. And we're shocked when we end up the same way.
when he shows you
They
how
mad
to.
at a snake. Exactly. You mad at a snake for biting you. And you knew it was a
Exactly.
snake in the first place.
How about that?
Don't get mad at a snake because it's its true nature.
Because it's being a snake, exactly.
Right. And you know what? It's Bible too. The Bible said, you will be known by the fruit that you produce. It don't say everybody got good fruit.
Mm,
Nope. There's a lot of rotten apples on trees.
Okay.
People think so. Check this out. In the YouTube and social media era, people think when the Bible talks about fruit that they're talking about how many people follow you, how many people go to your church. No, the fruit you produce is what comes from your actions.
Right. Right.
What is the
And that comes
result of
from
your actions? So
and that comes exactly.
exactly. So
Exactly.
here's what we have to understand, that we can't expect to get an apple from a fig tree.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Why we
Mhm.
keep expecting to get an apple from a fig tree?
That's right. Right about that.
And then on top of that, we will take that fig and give to our kids and try to lie to them and tell them it's apple.
Mm-hmm.
No, mama, this is a fig. This is a fig. You done brought this no good man home telling your kids that they gotta listen to what he say, they gotta do this, that. And guess what? He don't got a job.
Mm.
He ain't got a car. He ain't got a driver license. He ain't got nothing.
He's sitting up in there drinking up all the Kool-Aid.
In the milk. In the milk.
Only thing he got is a dream.
Right.
You can't fulfill that sitting in front of a TV all day.
Nope, you cannot.
Right. And then we're telling our children, oh, well, you better respect them. You better respect them. That's the man of the house. That's the man of the house. But they're not seeing the fruit that he is producing is not saying that I'm the man of the house.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm sorry. I think a man of the house. When you say man of the house, to me, that's the man that's taking care of all the bills. That's the man that's taking care of everything. His wife works because she want to work, not because she have to work. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be. A man's supposed to be a man. If you want to be man of the house comes responsibility, baby. Either you gonna step up, shut up, and get out.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. And if you can't do that, then you ain't the man of the house.
Mhm.
You're
Right.
a guest. You're a visitor.
How about
So
that?
check this out. when we talk about the woman of the house, what are the expectations of the woman of the house?
You asking
Because
me?
Take care of them babies. Make sure that house is clean. Make sure there's some food on that table. And make sure you go out, you do what you're supposed to do. Handle your business as a woman. Be a lady. You out there with your butt cheeks hanging out. That's a big thing for me.
There you go.
Handle your
Back
business.
your man up.
That's right. You
Whatever
got his
he
back.
back him up. If he needs
Definitely.
something cooked, you cook for him. If he needs something clean, clean for him. If you just need somebody just to sit down and relax and just give him a back massage every now and then, that's it. That you can do that. I don't need. I cook, I clean, I take care of the house, do all that other stuff and everything. My wife basically just sit down and talk with me. I'd be
right,
like, "You want to go get something to eat? Let's get something to eat." She feel like cooking, she'll cook. I feel like cooking, I'll cook. So it's not like it's a you have to cook and clean and do all the stuff and everything else. Like if you want to do that, okay, cool, do it. If you just we just pick up as we go along. It's
I don't
well,
just
think you
I'll
should
tell
have
you
a
it's
problem with
simple.
that. If he's going out and he's working, he's paying all the bills, he making sure you got everything you need. Why would you not want to do that?
That's true. That's
that
true.
that is true. And
Hmm.
another thing, like, so I grew up, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked. When we got home from school, the house was spotless. The food was on the stove. I mean, a full meal. And she was running the household. Go in there, take your clothes, your school clothes off, put on your play clothes, do your homework. When my dad got home, the house was in order. The
Yep,
house was in order. There was
yep.
no chaos. We wasn't in there running around like we didn't have no sense. The house was in order. And so I find now that a lot of young ladies, because I watch a lot of YouTube, but I find that a lot of young ladies think that, oh, they shouldn't have to clean up or cook or take care of their household. That a man should just want to be with them because either she's making good money or because she thinks she look like Nicki Minaj.
Mm.
And there goes the passport, bro.
Right.
There goes the
Everybody don't look
passport,
like
bro.
Nicki Minaj now.
Just because you look like Nicki Minaj, do not mean you Nicki Minaj.
Right, right,
That do
right,
not mean that. And I don't care how much money that somebody has. If that's supposed to be my woman's supposed to be helping me. And if my woman's not helping me, she is no longer my woman.
right,
Yep.
right. So I just look at it like the kid, and this is just my opinion. And YouTube and Facebook, please let me know your thoughts because I know a lot of you guys are probably going to come at me about this statement that I'm making. But I believe that the children are out of control because the women are out of control.
Bingo. Bingo.
I believe the
Right.
children are out of control because the women are out of control. If you look at, because I mean, most men who ain't about nothing, this is, I know a lot of people gonna hate this. Most men who not about nothing, they just gonna leave the kids alone. They're gonna leave and go somewhere else. Men will acknowledge, I ain't jack.
Yeah.
Men was into, they might not say it out loud, but if they have some shortcomings, men are wise enough to know that, you know what, I ain't about that. I ain't no good. They'll
Mm.
tell you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Their boys know. Their family know. It'd be like, oh, he know he ain't about nothing. He been dragging this woman down for no reason at all, and he know he ain't gonna do nothing but just hurt this woman. I can't give the girl my phone number because she's gonna be calling me, asking me where he at and everything. I do not want to go through that with this one because he
Right,
didn't went through it with the last three or four. He's
Right.
so good telling everybody, this is my girl forever. I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Same thing he did with the other four.
Yep, and ain't doing
Right.
nothing.
It ain't
But
doing nothing.
I'm gonna speak because I'm a woman. It's no good women out there who think they the bomb.com.
Yeah,
Okay. All they gotta do is
yeah,
be pretty.
yeah. It'd be
That's
like,
all they
look at
gotta
look at
do.
me. Look at me. You should want me. I want you to leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah, they really do. It's a lot of women who really believe that they don't have to do anything in a relationship, but exist.
Shoot.
They don't take care of their children. You know, to me, before I dress myself up, my kids gonna be dressed up.
That's
Right.
right. If my hair is done, my kids' hair is done. If I'm dressed up, they dressed up.
If I'm
Exactly.
looking good, my son is looking better.
That's right.
If I look good, my child looking better.
That's
That's
Right.
how that goes.
Yep. I see
Thank
ladies have
you.
their hair all done, all fancy, makeup all done, dresses not, child hair be all over their head. I hate that. Don't nothing irks me more than that.
Snotty, dirty,
Yep.
didn't iron the clothes.
Every
I
time you see
mean,
them, the kid
just
ain't even with them a lot of times. Kid, where the kids at? They always leaving the kids, always out by themselves. Don't never bring the kids with them. Always got the kids at home or with
Right,
somebody else.
right,
yeah,
Hmm.
right.
until
Listen,
tax time. Yeah, I said it. Unless it's tax time. Now they walking around with Shanisha, so Felicia, Dre, Dante,
Oh,
all of them. Was Casey, JoJo, all of them. Walking around with all of them. So
okay,
they want
you
them
get on
deductions.
your Facebook, please. You gotta let me know. Do you really think that people, their kids disappear to tax season? Do you really think kids disappear to tax season? Drop a comment in the chat. Al, you are hilarious.
yeah.
That's true. You know it's true.
Mhm.
I'm gonna drop
Look,
a
you got
real one on you. Check this out. This friend of ours was dating this girl for 2 years. Beautiful girl for 2 years. They didn't live in the same city, but they stayed maybe 45 minutes to an hour away from each other. For 2 years, he dated this girl and did not know that she had 2 kids.
mm, mm.
Mm.
Did not
Where were the
know that
kids?
she had 2 children.
Where were they?
Didn't know or didn't care.
Well, they lived with her mother. So she had an apartment and the girls stayed with her mother. So whenever he went to the apartment to see her, there were no kids there. So he just automatically, and she never told him that she had kids. So I guess he just assumed she didn't have kids.
That conversation
Wow.
came up. Something he asked. He asked somehow, some way. And then for her not to speak for her kids for 2 years. Now, your
Yeah.
kids is a part of your life. They're
Right.
part of your life. You cannot have a conversation if you have children without bringing your child up in some kind of way or form.
Exactly. She
So,
had to go.
she did a good job hiding that because that's the only way you could hide that because you're hiding it, or he just didn't care. He just came to get what he came to get and turn around and leave.
Look,
You
you heard of that lady? What's that lady? That case years ago. She was dating that man, and he didn't want kids, so she killed her kids. Remember
wow.
Susan? Was it Susan
That's
Smith?
all.
She drowned her babies.
Yeah.
Tell you.
But you know what? In this instance, he really did like her. He wanted to have something more with her. As a matter of fact, he was in school, he was working, and his plan was after he graduated from college that he was going to ask her to marry him.
What about after
Mm.
that?
Huh?
After that, after he found out that she had kids and didn't tell him.
So after he found out that she had kids and didn't tell him, he was a little disappointed. Not that she had the kids and didn't tell him. I mean, not that she had the kids, but that she would go for that long and not tell him about the kids. And this is a pretty good guy. He even would take my kids out to the mall and stuff. Really good guy. I don't think he would have had a problem with her having kids. I
I
really
think
don't.
where the problem came in was she didn't tell him.
Yeah, that's where
When
the
you
problem.
don't tell somebody something, so now you thinking, what else she hiding? If you didn't tell me about your kids, what else you hiding? Do you have a man sitting up here waiting on me? So when I come out, that he's gonna jump me and I don't know about you because I don't know about it because you gonna have a relationship with somebody else and I don't know about it. I mean, what else are you hiding? That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that's
I
a
I'm
couldn't
with
trust
trust
you.
him.
a trust breaker.
Yeah.
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So that was for him that really he really did like this young lady, liked her a lot, liked her a lot. And I really don't think it was the fact that she had kids, but I mean she kind of the lies and how long she kept the lie going probably played a pivotal role in the outcome of the relationship,
He should be
Mm.
thankful.
right? That
Yeah,
he found out early.
Yeah,
right,
because if
right.
he would have married this woman or something, all of a sudden she pops up with two kids and everything. How would you feel? I would feel like a fool.
I would have hoped she wouldn't go that long, like marry the man and not tell him you have kids. Come on. Ugh,
Well,
She
that's
probably
she
would
hid it
have.
for 2 years. She hid it for 2 years. Was a
Well,
few more.
Monique, you know how we think as women now. Once he get a hold of you, oh, it ain't even gonna matter, girl. He ain't gonna care what I put it do. He gonna want me. Okay.
right.
That's what we think.
That's crazy. And then vice versa. If a man did that, I'd be like, why would you shame to your kids? Why wouldn't you tell me you had kids? I wouldn't like that.
Right,
That's a deal
Exactly. That's the
breaker.
same thing. They got something to hide. That's
Hmm.
right.
why I'm saying you need to know who you date, what's going on. You need to meet a few places that are public in the beginning. Coffee shop. Don't go to a movie because a movie you don't have time to talk. Only thing you're doing is watching a movie. Go somewhere that you can, not expensive, maybe a coffee shop or maybe bowling or something like that. Something you can get to know this person, how they feel, or maybe even a comedy show, see what they laugh about, what their sense of humor is or something, you
Hmm.
know, before you go spending money, be like, oh, I'm going to take her to the most exquisite restaurant because I think that'll impress her. Now you broke and you don't have nobody to be with because she was there for the meal.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go, guys. Well, we are
You spend
at
all your rent money.
we are
There you
already
go.
at I know spending all the rent money. But we are at an hour, guys, and so we are going to call it a night. But before we go, I would like for each of you to give people kind of some advice on dating and when should they introduce their children to a significant other. I know Monique, you said 6 months to a year. Al, like don't even try it if you don't even like her like that. Me personally, I said, hey, wait until there's a commitment about to walk down the aisle. That's just my take on it. That might be a little long for some people, but so just go around the room and just give your final advice to somebody who is out there dating and they're thinking about introducing their child to their significant other. Just give them a little bit of advice. We'll start with Monique.
I did say 6 months to a year. But in that, I'm saying is if there's a connection and y'all, if you like you say, if you're getting a commitment and there's a connection after 6 months to a year, then you know what I'm saying? That's okay. I feel like that should be just to meet them. That don't mean you got to move in with them or anything like that. Take your time when you meet a person. Do not rush into anything because you can know a person for 6 months to a year and not even know that person at all. So just be very cautious when you move, and especially when it comes to your babies, because that's your precious cargo.
That's right. Al?
I think you should talk to God first about it because He will show you who this person really is, whether they can put them in a predicament or what have you or something. God will show you who a real person is. You would like this person, and then there's nothing wrong with talking to God about things. He'll answer you. It may not be the answer you want, but He will answer you.
That's right.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
right.
And so I will add on to what Al says. Definitely pray about it, talk to God about it, but I'm going to add a caveat. Listen to what God tells you to do, right? Because
Right.
even when Ruth set out to get Boaz, Naomi told her how to get Boaz's attention and how to get Boaz to marry her. But she had to listen to the advice that was given to her by this older woman. So don't just sit and talk to God about what you want. Let him tell you what he wants for you. Let him tell you what he wants from you. Remember, dating is for collecting data. Dating is not for you to hook up with people and get your rocks off. It's not for you to be able to wake up with somebody in the morning. It's not for you to just be out here just loosey-goosey, throwing everything all over town. Dating is for you to eventually meet someone and fulfill your kingdom purpose. Your kingdom purpose.
That's right.
God is not concerned about you and your sexual needs like that.
Right.
He is concerned about your kingdom purpose. He wants to see you again in heaven. And so in that, he wants, whenever he sees you, for him to be able to say, job well done, my good and faithful servant. That's
right.
what God's desire is for you. And so he wants the very best for you. He said, I know the thoughts that I have for you, they're of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So he wants the best thing for you. And how do you know what he wants for you if you never stop to listen to him? And lastly, your kids are depending on you making a wise decision when it comes to your significant other or the person that you marry or chose to be in a relationship with. We are seeing too many children die at the hands of somebody bringing another person into the relationship that is not the best person for the family. So these children are dependent on you to make the right decision. You have a responsibility to the kids in your life. And unfortunately, when you have kids, your happiness comes second.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you. When you have kids, your happiness comes second. So those are my thoughts tonight, guys. We had a wonderful time sharing with you. Of course, like always, have a nice night and be blessed. We love you a lot. God loves you best. And we can't wait to see you in the next recovery room. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.